Actually, this is the post-lunch session, and we had two eminent diabetologists today. So I would say that probably this is the post-prandial session. And you know what are the features of this post-prandial session. I'm sure those would be an exception, with respect to the next session that what we have. So the next session is by the eminent Padma Shri Dr. Mukesh Batra, the founder chairman emeritus of Dr. Batra's Healthcare. And the title of this session is Hahnemann's Homeopathy, more relevant today than ever. So I take pleasure in introducing Dr. Mukesh Batra to you, who is hailed as the father of Indian homeopathy. Padma Shri Dr. Mukesh Batra is a distinguished figure in the field of homeopathy, renowned for his pioneering contributions to modern homeopathic medicine. Born on July 1, 1951 in Mumbai, Dr. Batra founded Dr. Batra's group of companies, which has grown into a global chain of homeopathic clinics. Dr. Batra is credited with revolutionizing homeopathy by introducing modern technology and standardization to homeopathic healthcare solutions. His clinics have treated over 1 million patients, including presidents, prime ministers, and prominent film personalities. Dr. Batra has been honored with numerous national and international awards, including the prestigious Padma Shri in 2012 for his contributions to homeopathic medicine. He is the first Asian homeopath to receive honorary fellowships from British and American professional institutions. His company also sponsors the annual Dr. Batra's Positive Health Awards to honor individuals who fight against disease and disability. Dr. Batra's clinics are present in multiple countries, including Dubai, Abu Dhabi, London, and Dhaka. He has introduced homeopathy in regions where alcohol-based medicines are prohibited on religious grounds. And his innovative approach to homeopathy has earned him global recognition and respect. In 2024, Dr. Batra was honored with Doctor of Letters honoris causa by Kalinga Institute of Social Sciences University for his exceptional contributions to society and medical accomplishments. Dr. Mukesh Batra's legacy is one of innovation, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of excellence in homeopathy, and his work continues to inspire and benefit millions around the world. I now request Dr. Satya Brahma also to please come, and also requesting Dr. Batra to please come onto the dais for your session. And before that, I would request Dr. Satya Brahma to present the memento as a mark of respect and gratitude to Dr. Mukesh Batra. Okay, we will felicitate Dr. Batra after his talk. Please, the dais is yours.
Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. And I've known Satya for many, many years, and one reason I'm here is because of him. So thank you for having me. And Satya always does the very difficult thing with me. He always give me a post-lunch session so that, I know that everybody is awake or asleep and I have to actually speak well. And he'll always give me a difficult topic. I don't know from where he chooses the topics, but he always tries to, kind of tickle my brains and my gray cells, including the white ones which are left, to make sure that I get intellectually stimulated. So thank you very much for this, and it was really wonderful to have also heard some of the talks earlier before lunch. They were very, very stimulating, and I'm very happy that I could be part of it, and listen to them. So first of all, good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and my heartiest congratulations to all the awardees. Let me start by telling you a little story. Imagine being a doctor in the late 18th century when medicine often did more harm than good. A doctor named Samuel Hahnemann derived compassion and scientific curiosity, challenged chaos, and laid the foundation for a new medical philosophy, homeopathy. Bloodletting was the treatment of choice during his time, as it was believed that sickness and disease came from impure blood. Many people died from this, a clear example of the cure being worse than the disease. Mental health patients were flogged to get spirits to leave their bodies. In spite of being an MD from the Leipzig University of Germany, Hahnemann gave up his practice and lived in absolute poverty, but continued his belief in discovering a new system of medicine, homeopathy. Hahnemann's story inspires perseverance and faith in one's convictions. In spite of its evolution through archaic times, homeopathy today is more relevant than ever before. I will enumerate just a few points to justify this. In over 250 years of its existence, homeopathy today is legally recognized in over 160 countries of the world, and according to World Health Organization, it is the second largest system of the world. Its popularity today is ever increasing due to some of the following reasons, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about them just to put it in perspective on how relative Hahnemann's legacy is in today's world. So the first thing that I want to mention is there's a saying which says that, there's a pill for every ill, but then every pill has an ill. For example, non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, commonly known as NSAIDs, often induce gastrointestinal problems, kidney damage, and cardiovascular risks. Over 30 million individuals use NSAIDs in India alone every day. Painkillers mask pain without addressing the root problem, potentially delaying necessary medical care. Drug-induced disorders are now medically called iatrogenic disorders and kill 290 people every day in America alone. This is equivalent to a plane crash. Can you imagine if a plane was to crash? It would make world news. But today nobody talks about it. So creating awareness for kind of drug-induced disorders and finding safer systems of medicine like homeopathy is actually the order of the day. Similarly, the other problem today is AMR. We talk of antimicrobial resistance, and this really happens because a lot of people actually self-prescribe treatments and they over-prescribe antibiotics, and therefore when it really should work, it does not work because you build resistance to it. Just to put it into perspective, research has shown that 66% of the Indian population self-medicate. So really your friendly neighborhood doctor is not your friendly neighborhood doctor, but it's really your friendly neighborhood pharmacist who sends you medicine on V-Fast and then you get it within the next few minutes. And that's how you treat yourself today. But when you do this and when you start using even medicines which you're not supposed to use and self-treat yourself, you actually build resistance. And when you actually need the medicine, it doesn't work. The two groups of people which actually fall into this are obviously children and the older age groups. So because they have lower immunity, when they actually fall sick, particularly of respiratory problems, you find that the antibiotic which should work actually does not work. Research has shown that over 297,000 people die from drug-resistant bacteria every year. A ResearchGate study suggests that homeopathy is an effective alternative to antibiotics if used in the early stages of infection. The second point that I want to make about the relevance of homeopathy today is the increase of lifestyle disorders. So earlier, you used to have one single cause like a bacteria or a virus which used to cause problems, and these would actually cause communicable disorders. And communicable disorders could then be treated with antibiotics or with medicines, chemical medicines as well, and they were very effective for that. Today what's happened is that the cause is not single, but it is multiple. And lifestyle diseases come not just from a single cause, but from multiple causes. And therefore, unless you kind of take holistic medicine and change all these causes, you cannot actually effect a change in them. So let me talk about a little bit about National Health Mission, which has actually said that India has now moved from communicable disorders to non-communicable disorders. And there are 4.1 million people who die every year in India alone of non-communicable disorders. A 223 review found that homeopathic medicines often matched or surpassed conventional treatments in effectiveness, especially for chronic conditions, when being more economical in long-term care. I will mention here just two diseases which are very common in NCDs: diabetes, which was spoken about earlier, and hypertension. India has 61 million individuals who live with diabetes, and this is not really counting pre-diabetic, and then it's supposed to go up to 100 million by 2030. The world of adults aged between 20 to 79 has 10.5% of people who are diabetic. This actually numbers to 537 million people who are diabetic in the world. The number of adults with diabetes will increase to 643 million by 2030 and 783 million by 45. A study in Athens showed a 55% success rate with homeopathic treatment alone, and this is all clinical research done, and an 82% success rate with a combination of homeopathy and allopathic medications, a 27% increase in efficacy. So this actually shows that integrated medicine in lifestyle problems can actually become very, very effective, and people should start looking at it as well. I now come to hypertension. The National Family Health Survey said that 24% of men and 21% of women in India have high blood pressure. The average monthly cost of treating hypertension in a primary healthcare clinic is 1 crore every year. This can be saved by using a cost-effective system of medicine like homeopathy. All over the world, 1.2 billion adults aged 30 and 79 suffer from hypertension. This is more than 30% of the adult population worldwide. The average total cost of hypertension per person across all countries is $630. Effective blood pressure management could save $100 billion every year in global healthcare costs. And this is again where alternative systems of medicine like homeopathy and safer systems of medicine can actually become very useful. A Sage journal reports Viscum album, mother tincture, homeopathic medicine, as a potential antihypertensive with dual effects, administered 10 drops 3 times a day for 12 weeks. Another research at the National Center of Biotechnology Information Study found that homeopathy could improve the quality of life in patients with essential hypertension compared to conventional drugs. The third thing that I want to mention today regarding relevance of homeopathy is immunity. Now, you know that we all think that immunity has become a very, very buzzword, especially after COVID, because everybody said that if your immunity is high, then you don't get COVID, you can recover quickly. If your immunity is low, then you're likely to succumb. So building immunity is a new buzzword, but, Hahnemann actually said that there's something called vital force, which is similar to immunity. So he said if your vital force is low and poor, then you will be susceptible to disorder. So what homeopathy does is it tries to increase the vital force, which really means tries to bring your internal immunity up so that outside circumstances of whatever you are exposed to do not make you sick. Homeopathy has been clinically proven to increase immunity, especially in children. A recent research published in the national media showed that children who were given homeopathy experienced fewer sick days over 24 months. The research showed that homeopathy was better than allopathy for children under 2 years of age. The final point that I want to bring in terms of relevance of homeopathy today is mental health. In India alone, 60 to 70 million people grapple with mental health disorders. 47% of Indian workers said they experienced stress at work, financial difficulties, unstable employment, high pressure work situations all greatly add to this mental strain. Homeopathy focuses on identifying the root cause of health issues rather than just addressing symptoms. By incorporating the correct remedy tailored to an individual's constitution, mental state, and lifestyle, it aims to restore mental and physical balance. A research showed that a prospective, non-comparative, open-label observational study carried out in October 2005 to September 2010 over a 5-year period by the Central Council of Research in Homeopathy showed significant benefits in depressive episodes with 6 months of homeopathic treatment for mood disorders. In spite of its criticism from mainstream medicine and the need for robust research and evidence, homeopathy is the medicine of the future. It was Rudolf Virchow who said, "Medicine is not only a science, it is also an art. It does not consist of compounding pills and plasters. It deals with the very processes of life." And who better than Hahnemann taught us this more than 250 years ago? The science of homeopathy that deals with the individual and not just the disease. Let us carry forward Hahnemann's torch of healing for generations to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for this very vital insights into homeopathy, and I'm sure it has given a lot of clarity as well as insights into what exactly homeopathy can do. And you have brought out the importance with respect to the quality of life, with respect to the immunity, and also very important area which is mental health. And one statement that what you made really caught my attention is that it deals with the individual and not with the disease or the disorder. I think that's something which differentiates homeopathy with respect to the other systems. I now request Dr. Satya to please come on the stage and felicitate Dr. Mukesh Batra as a token of gratitude and respect.
If there is one person who changed the landscape of homeopathy in India, if any practitioner in homeopathy who brought acclaim worldwide, it is none other than Padma Shri Dr. Mukesh Batra. So let's give him a huge round of applause. He doesn't normally come to any programs, but as he told, he's fond of me. So when I call him, so he comes, but this time I had to give him 2-3 dates. Then after 2-3 dates, he picked up one dress and I chose that dress actually. Can you have, yes.